Hey, today I am going to present an interesting topic again, and this has something to do with the two kind of selves that we deal with on an average every day. And this is going to be very interesting because now onwards, you are going to be very conscious about which self do you feed on an average every day, and this is something about how we think, something about how we be in the moments, and something about how we look at ourselves and the life around. Hello, I'm Ranjan Kumar, founder Mystic Fusion International and authentic self-leadership coach and authentic influence coach. Now, often when I look at myself every day, when I observe myself, I've seen that there are two perspectives that we live from, that we come from, and one I would like to call as consumer self, and the other I would like to call as a creative self. And consumer self is like that eternal blank, that activity of fill in the blanks, fill up the blanks, and so consumer self is that self which is always incomplete, which always believes that there is something outside that one has to strive for, and but the place that they come from, when you come from or I come from, when we think from a consumer self mindset, is that I am not enough, so I am not good enough, I'm not strong enough, I'm not healthy enough, I'm not rich enough, I'm not sound enough in this knowledge, or all that not enoughness. So it's like, you always think like a consumer. So you would want to have that particular thing to complete you, this particular thing to complete you. So you are looking from the perspective that, I am yet to be a finished product, and probably, I do not have that something which will turn me into a finished product. So there is something outside which I have to strive for to feel complete from within. So that is the consumer self mindset. The other self is a creative self, and creative self is that self, when you operate from a creative self mindset, you operate from a kind of confidence that you trust life, you trust your own abilities, you trust your capacity to learn, you trust your you trust your inclination, you trust your intense desire to be more of who you are, and you trust that you will unfold the right way, and the universe has your back, and the universe knows better than you, and you are in the safest hands possible. So that shows the difference in the kind of language that you speak, in the kind of activities that you indulge in or engage in the kind of people that you engage with, in the kind of descriptions, the way you describe your realities, the way you describe what happened with you today, or there is one more thing. When you listen to your own self, when you come from that consumer mindset, what you're talking about this happened to me, that happened to me, I want to do that, that's good. Everybody wants to do that thing. Even I want to reach more and more to you in many different ways, to help you to contribute whatever I have learned and to serve you powerfully. But then there is when you talk like a consumer, you talk with a sense that there is something that I have to strive for, which is outside, which when accomplished or acquired is going to make me complete, and is going to make me fulfilled only when I have those certain things, or when I'll be able to do those certain things. So and the other side of that, the downside of that is that you talk about what's not going well, what probably should go well, or probably you are waiting for the days to be well, for the moments to be well, for the time to be well, for the fate to be well. So there is something which is not there you are talking about. There is something which is unavailable that you are more focused on, and that's the consumer mindset. But when you talk from, when you come from, when you operate from, when you exist from, when you thrive from a creator's perspective, then you talk about You talk about what you're doing, you talk about what you love doing, you talk about what you're passionate about, you talk about what you're fired up to do, you talk about what you're interested to create, you talk about big visions that that you are working towards, you talk about your plans, you talk about the trust that you have on this universe, you talk about the way you're being in this moment, you talk about how you think, you talk about how you learn, you talk about how you are growing, you talk about how you are expanding, you talk about how you go within. What all you do to transform yourself and be more of who you are. You talk about the reflections, the insights, the intuition, all that is happening within you, which is far more than enough, than something which can complete you from outside. That's when you are stepping into that power that you are born with. That's when you step into that being, that beingness that you are born with. And that's when you step into that zone of creativity where you know that you were born with the capacity and the capability to thrive from within. You don't need something from outside to complete you. You are that energy, you are that life force, and you are part of that infinity which makes this whole universe, which creates this whole universe. You are that love which is spreading from outside, which is permeating this universe. You are that who exists in everybody. You are that who are unfolding through the experience that you are going through. You're grateful for everything that you are, because you know that you are part of that creation. You're made of the same energy that this whole creation is made of. And you are in love with what is. You are in love with your own self. You are in love with being more of who you truly are, your authentic self. You operate from your authentic self, and that's when you influence people authentically. That's when you don't have to do a certain thing in a certain way in order to impress somebody. You know that somebody who's at that level, somebody who gets connected at that energy level will certainly do that. And you're okay with everything that's going on. You're open for everything that's going on. And you don't think like something is yet to be fixed. You operate from a mindset that everything is fixed. You just have to go back, step back into that zone which makes you so powerful naturally. And that's when you operate from the from the unconditional love that has all the power to create everything that you want to experience in life. On an average every day, my question is how many minutes or how many hours, or how many thoughts. They say that there are 60,000 thoughts every day which go this way and this way. My question is, if you pay a little attention to how you're feeling in the moment, and because since what you're feeling in the moment, how you feel in the moment is a result of what you think in the moment. It's connected to that thinking. So probably the question is, think, what part of your day do you think like a consumer, and what portion of your day you think like a creator? Probably you can take it as a project. Reflect for about a week, observe yourself, and think, the kind of language that you use, the kind of activities that you involve in, the kind of time that you take for your own self in solitude. What do you think? What do you treat yourself like a consumer or like a creator? These are two selves. Now, the one point that I would want to leave you with today is that self which you feed grows. If you feed the consumer self grows. If you feed the creator self grows. And that brings more of that self, the more of that mindset, more of that action strategies, the more of that habits, the more of that behavior and everything. And that's when you throw that perception around that, oh, he's this kind of a person, he is this kind of a person. I would want you to look at yourself, I would want you to observe yourself, I would want you to just have fun looking at others and observing and listen to the language that they speak and put them into two buckets, consumer self, creative self, consumer self, creative self. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour, take a few notes and think, last half an hour, was I a consumer or a creator? You will have great fun and probably you will have lots to offer in the comments also based on your research. I would invite you to offer your experiences. Write down your experiences in the comment section below. And I would love to interact with you. If you really want to experience this change, probably there is no use listening to somebody. You probably are the right judge, but you will be able to know that firsthand only when you experience that through your own research. So it's just an idea that I thought I would want to share with you. I would love for you to try it and let me know how did you feel, like, what were you focusing on? I'll be happy both ways, but the more important thing is your acknowledgement of the fact and your recognition of what's happening in your mind. Hope that's going to help you be more of who you truly are and create that authentic influence that you want to create around you, with your loved ones, with your family, with your colleagues, at your work, and in your personal transformational journey. Love you all. Try this and let me know for sure in the comments below. All the best.